Happy Sunday, everyone. I know I've been gone a little bit. I've just been pretty tired, to be honest. Nothing really crazy is happening, but I'm just pretty tired. This week was definitely filled with a lot of deliveries, so I have a good stack of MBK here waiting to be reviewed. So let's get into it and let's do some first impressions and kind of smell tests. So yeah, let's get started. I think I want to start off with one of my newly found absolute favorite fragrances, and that is Oceans Between Us. And this is a recreation of House of Beau Lamar. And I thought, based on like the ginger note and some other notes in there, I didn't know if I was gonna like this, so I really only got the small size, and I severely regret it. I didn't know I would love this so much, which I should have known because I really enjoy white florals. And I mean, that's a lot of what it is. And then there's just a few hints of like the ginger and something else in there. But let me pull up the notes over here. We have gardenia, seawater, pink pepper in the top, Indian tuberose, jasmine sambac, and ginger in the mid, and then coconut, almond milk, and olibanum, is that how you say that? In the base. And I think for me what it was is the ginger and maybe the almond milk, because I'm not an almond lover. I kind of thought maybe since they were in the lower tiers that maybe they were going to be stronger in the fragrance. And this is so, so beautiful. I just get the ginger. I don't get the ginger. I get the gardenia and the jasmine and the tuberose almost in a sparkling seawater with a mix of those white florals. And honestly, what this reminded me of when I first smelt it, something about it was reminding me of my sister, and I was thinking, why does it specifically remind me of my sister? And I think there's something to this that kind of reminds me of Britney Spears' Curious. I don't think they have similar notes. I'll have to check, to be honest, I'm not sure. But it's kind of that light and bright, almost effervescent, and not in a champagne way type of smell. I think it's really so pretty, and I have been wearing the crud out of this, and I only got this maybe Wednesday or Thursday, but I even shared it with my friend at work. Oh my gosh, it smells so good, and I even actually went as far as ordering a sample of the original, and it comes in this really cute package, by the way, and it has like all the little scent notes for it, and I've been using that a lot as well. Something I do find different from the original is I feel like the original gets a little more rich when you first spray it, and it settles down into what this smells like. So this, to me, automatically smells like what the original smells like in the dry down after wearing it for a little bit. But initially I was like, that's a little different, but I recognized it once it dried down and kind of settled in. And so that was really good. And I have been loving this fragrance. Yeah, definitely going back to get a 100 ml when that comes out. And I'm even thinking about adding like a little bit of extra vanilla. I really like white florals with a bit of vanilla. I feel like they kind of go together. And naturally, in my opinion, I feel like white florals almost have a vanillic base that I can pick up to it. It's very subtle, so that's why I feel like it would accent it really well. But oh my gosh, I've been blown away by that fragrance, and I'm so excited about it. Okay, so I just looked up the notes of Britney Spears' Curious, and I guess in a way they kind of have some overlapping notes. The top has magnolia, pear, and lotus, which don't really overlap, but in the mid there is tuberose and jasmine. So they do kind of have that overlapping element, and I don't think these are exactly dupes or anything, but it reminded me of that. So I think maybe if you liked Britney Spears' Curious, I think you would definitely like the vibe of this one. So yeah, just had to look that up really quick because I was like, I need to know why I instantly thought of that fragrance when I first smelled this. But yeah, also, I don't know if you guys noticed, I don't know how you couldn't, I have a microphone now. My husband picked it out for me because I kind of told him how I was struggling a little bit and getting a little bit of feedback that sometimes I was hard to hear. So hopefully this is helping. I am still learning how to use it, so bear with me. But yeah, I just wanted to point out the new edition. I'm pretty excited about it. I feel a little fancy, so yeah, definitely going to hope this improves my sound quality. Okay, next in my order in a 8 ml, I got the Paradise State of Mind, which is Simone Andreoli's Leisure in Paradise. I've had a few renditions of this. I don't normally love it. Something about it I just don't fully love, but sometimes MBK surprises me. I mean, I feel like they actually do that pretty often, where I'm not the biggest fan of the fragrances or maybe other recreations of it, and I end up really liking their recreations. So I was like, I'll give it a chance, but I'll get a small kind of travel size. So this one opens up with papaya and pineapple, and in the mid there's coconut milk and vanilla, and the base has Caribbean woods. So it's definitely nice and fruity. I feel like most people like this. There's just something to me about and as the fragrance, not like MBK's recreation of it, just the fragrance itself. There's something with the papaya, I think mixing with the coconut milk, that reminds me of something like God, it's like there's something in my brain this reminds me of very specifically, and I can't put my finger on it, but something is telling me like a Victoria's Secret lotion, or like something of that nature, where I'm like smelling the lotion and the papaya and the coconut milk, and just something about it doesn't sit right with my olfactory perception. I don't even know what to say, but something about it makes my head already start hurting, and just like I just don't like to wear this. It's like I like how it opens because I love papaya, I love pineapple, vanilla, even like woodsy notes with fruit, but something about just how those notes interact, I feel like it's just not the scent profile for me. But I wanted to give it a try because I didn't know if MBK's recreation would be the one for me that, you know, would change my mind. So it's probably a very good fragrance if you like notes like that. I feel like I'm a little biased in terms of how I feel about it. I will say you definitely pick up the papaya and coconut milk, and then like a woodsy undertone. And I feel like the pineapple kind of just adds like a tanginess, a little brightness to it. But it's like a creamy coconut milk papaya is really what I'm getting. And a little bit of spice of Caribbean woods. And not necessarily in my head, I'm not like, I know what Caribbean woods are, but just a little spiciness of some woods in the background. But yeah, that one's just not for me, but it's still very pretty. I think if you are intrigued by that and you like kind of tropical, I guess tropically unique fragrances, because something about this reminds me of Miami Nectar in the sense of having a tropical-esque feel, some fruitiness, tropical vibes with a little bit of a woodsy undertone. But yeah, so sorry for that ramble. Yeah, so that one's just not for me, but hopefully if you picked it up, you're enjoying it, or if you're curious about it, maybe you'll like it. I'm not very helpful, I'm sorry. Okay, next we have a couple fragrances, or maybe a handful of fragrances, I'll have to see. Maybe like a handful of fragrances that came out of the vault. And so the next one that I was really excited about, I had never tried before, is Sunblock. And I personally am somebody who loves a good sunscreen smell. I prefer it to be more on the refined kind of, I won't say elegant side, because I feel like a lot of them can smell that way depending on how it wears on you. But I like it to have more of that sophisticated element in it, if possible. And yeah, okay, sorry. Let me not get ahead of myself. But okay, so in the top notes, we have bergamot and banana. And that's exactly what I just smelled, was the banana. And then in the mid, we have pineapple and coconut. The base, we have ocean water, sea salt, and vanilla. This reminds me of the Sunbum sunscreen. How it kind of has, it's like really fruity, but at the same time, once it dries down on your skin, you've been in the sun, it warms up so nicely. And it kind of also, oh my gosh, there was a trash bag in the room and it just started moving. I think it just, whatever was in it fell down, and it scared the crap out of me. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, it smells like the wax that surfers use for their surfboards. Yeah. But specifically, if we're comparing a sunscreen scent that I feel like this smells like, it reminds me of the Sunbum. The one with like the monkey on it, I think. It smells very good, and it does feel very sophisticated and kind of fancy, like this is your premium sunscreen, not just your banana boat or your, gosh, what is that? I don't know what the other brand is, but yeah, definitely feels more of like the premium sunscreen, Sunbum, banana-y, but also like sophisticated, nice warmed up sun-kissed skin. I'm very excited about this one. I don't think this would be something I'd wear very often, ironically, even though I live in a place that would like be perfect for this, but yeah, I do really like it, and I'm happy I picked up a little size of it, so yeah. Okay, the next one I have from the vault is cream soda, and I had been waiting for this one for a while. I've had like my little list of MBK fragrances I want to try kind of in a little spreadsheet, and this one finally came out of the vault, and I was very excited about it. The top notes are vanilla cream, caramelized sugar, and the base notes are vanilla extract. So I love a good cream soda, but specifically I like A&W cream soda. I feel like, and I've explained this to many people in my life, there is a difference between what I feel is like a cotton candy-ish leaning cream soda and A&W where it seems like a pure vanilla extract cream soda. I err on the side of loving like a pure vanilla extract cream soda. Like even the Dr. Pepper that has added cream soda, I just feel like that's not the right cream soda that I'd want. I want like a pure vanilla extract, straight to the point type of vanilla, and that one I feel like has too much cotton candy sweetness, or I don't even know if it's cotton candy, but that's the best way I can describe it when comparing the two types. But anyway, so I love a good cream soda, and I'm hoping, or I should say I was hoping, I've already smelled this, let me not pretend I haven't, but that this would be that type of cream soda. And this reminds me of like, is it the cream soda Jelly Belly, or like a cream soda, oh, that's what it is. Okay, you know, like the cream soda root beer candies that I feel like they were hard candies. I don't know if I'm making this up or if I'm actually remembering something, but that's what this reminds me of. I feel like the sugar base is kind of, I don't want to say dense. I don't think that's the right term because it's still pretty, but it reminds me a lot of their like marshmallowy floof type smells, or I guess that's Heaven Sent by Shannon, but I feel like they also have a, I don't know if I have one on my desk, I don't, but they're like fluffed up or ultimate fluff type smells where it's just like a pure gooey marshmallow. It doesn't smell like marshmallow, but there's kind of that base to it that they build on for each different one. It kind of smells like that to me, with maybe a little bit of extra sugar on there. So I'm not fully getting a cream soda per se. Like if you gave that to me on its own and said this is cream soda, or asked me to kind of like pick up on what I think this is like based on, I don't know if I would say cream soda, honestly, and not in a weird way. There's no like licorice note or anything, but I might say root beer based on the fact that it reminds me of like those candies. Like I feel like there was some type of hard candy that was a cream soda, root beer, something like that. And that's kind of what this reminds me of, but like that kind of undertone of it. Let me look that up and see if I can even figure out what I'm talking about. Okay, I figured out what I'm thinking of. It's a cream soda Dum Dum. That is exactly what this smells like to me. The little lollipops. That's why I was thinking hard candy. I was just Googling like cream soda hard candies, like trying to figure out what the heck I'm talking about. That's what this smells like to me. A cream soda Dum Dum. Oh, I feel so accomplished. Okay. The next one I have is not out of the vault. It's one of their newer fragrances, but it's Kaleidoscope. I had ordered my my larger size of this, and I had gotten a sample. Actually, no, I had ordered this first, and then I luckily got a sample in one of my other orders. But this one has notes of goji berry, blueberry, and raspberry in the opening, cotton candy and creamy vanilla in the mid, and spun sugar in the base. And this one, I think I've already said, but it reminds me of the Berry Pop Alani Nu that they collaborated with Addison Rae on. Exactly how I remember that smelling and tasting is what this smells like, and it's so, I'd say if I had to categorize it, like fun and flirty. It's really nice, and that, I don't know if it's goji berry mixed with like the spun sugar and creamy vanilla with a pop of the raspberry and blueberry. It's like those to me aren't distinct, but they add like that bright background, I feel like. Oh, and they make this just so fun and flirty, I feel like. Sorry, I've been saying I feel like. If you guys can't tell, I haven't filmed a video in a little bit. I've been really tired. I have a lot of things on my mind. I'm thinking about starting school again. I'm trying to find possibly a new job. I don't know. It's just a lot of things going on in my head, so I'm kind of all over the place, and I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, it smells just like the berry pop Alani new to me, and it's so, so yummy, so fresh, so fruity. Not fresh in the sense of like clean fresh in the fragrance profile, but fresh as in like it makes you feel refreshed, I guess. So yeah, that was Kaleidoscope, and it's definitely one of my favorites. I actually got the oil in this order as well. I've been having my little box for my order over here, so I haven't even opened this yet because I've been waiting to actually make this video to start using all my stuff. And now I can. I'm sure a lot of people do that who do make videos, but yeah. Anyway, sorry. Let me stop rambling and let's get to the next one. Okay, I lied just a little bit. I do have one more from the vault, and it is Creamy Dreamy Candy. And this one I already knew I liked, so I got a 50 ml. I have a 15 ml in my room, my actual room, not this room. And they finally brought it out of the vault, and I was very excited about it, so I got a larger size. This one is supposed to be like, if I remember, cotton candy and like strawberry candies with added like Bianco latte as the base, if I remember correctly. So we have cotton candy, sugared strawberry in the opening, which is, if you've watched any of my other videos from the fragrances I really love, you know I love their sugared strawberry, especially in strawberry sugar whip, or the old formulation of strawberry vanilla lemonade, which they used to use the sugared strawberry in. So good. So I was very excited about that. And then in the mid we have caramel, honey, vanilla cream, and marshmallow. So I think also added marshmallow and vanilla cream because I don't think those are Bianco latte. And the base is white musk, honey, and coumarin. So smelling this, yeah, I get that sugared strawberry, and it almost feels like a extra layer. What I'm smelling is the vanilla cream and marshmallow. I know their cotton candy kind of has that more powdery sweet element to it, so that might be in there, but to me, I smell that sugared strawberry and like extra vanilla cream. And then I think where the Bianco latte really comes through is, especially when you're wearing it on the skin, is in the dry down, of course, because it's in the base, but I feel like I don't really get that right away. And I feel like also when I first sprayed this and first tried this, the opening kind of reminded me, and maybe it's the imagery, I think, that also played into it, but I feel like I really smelt the candy, I feel like, on top, and it kind of reminded me, especially with the like pastels of the picture, it reminded me of the, what are those called, Cadbury eggs in a way, because like also the Bianco latte DNA has that kind of like rich caramel milky, sometimes to me I can smell, to me I can smell chocolate a little bit to it, just of how rich it is. And so it overall, this fragrance kind of reminded me of Cadbury eggs, like the mini ones, not the full size with the stuff inside. I don't know about those, but that kind of powdery candy layer and then the kind of rich chocolate smell. So that's kind of what sold me on this, and that's why I wanted to get a huge bottle. And like, oh, I can really smell that sugared strawberry. It's so good. That's my favorite note that they use. But anyway, so this one's really good, and hopefully any of that made sense or helped you in any way. Yeah, so let's get to the next one. Next we have another kind of new release, and this one is called Fizzy Lifting Drink. And I was pretty excited about this because Kaleidoscope and Fizzy Lifting Drink came out around the same time, and the imagery on both of them was beautiful. They're both fruity, kind of like soda-y, bright, bubbly type fragrances, so I was like, I'm sold already. And this one is also delicious compared to Kaleidoscope. So it opens with black currant, raspberry, and blackberry, which I love when Erin formulates anything with blackberry, raspberry, black currant. I feel like those are some of my favorite fragrance notes that they use, like even in Confessions of a Perfume Addict or Garden Gala or anything. Those notes are so good, so I was so excited. Anyway, the mid notes have plum, peach, and orange and lemon, and the base is vanilla. So just like a fruity, yummy, bright, fruity concoction. So I was so excited to smell this. And that blackberry and black currant are really in a good way, punchy at the top, I'll say. Like when you think of those fruits being nice and juicy and bright in your face, which is like obviously the fizzy like effervescence of it. And then I think the orange and lemon, the orange and lemon, those kind of citrus elements. And then I think then I'm getting blackberry are really adding that tanginess to it. Like it's kind of making my mouth water. It's making me just think of a nice, crisp, fruity citrus, but not overwhelmingly citrus. Like it wouldn't be predominantly citrus. It's like citrus as a supporting role in a film. No, okay. Kind of backing that up. And it's like that blackberry. It reminds me again, and I think I said it about another fragrance recently, but kind of like those Lifesaver gummies, like the berry mix, like that kind of yumminess of the gummy candy, blackberry, darker berry smells. It's kind of like that's coming through, and then it's like supported by all those bright citruses. I'm not really getting the vanilla, but I'm sure the vanilla is just more of like a base element instead of like a standout character kind of thing. But yeah, so that's primarily what I'm getting. I'm getting like blackcurrant, blackberry, and then tanginess and brightness from the orange and lemon in the mid. It's very yummy. It's very juicy and pretty. It's like almost making my mouth water as I'm trying to talk. So if that sounds like something to you that you would like, then I definitely think you would like this. But it also, okay, the more I'm smelling it, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know what bath bomb it is from Lush, but the one that's like really fruity, tangy. Let me see if I can find it and what it's called, but it's like fruity, tangy, and it's really bright, and then when you can smell it in the whole bathroom when you have it in your tub. Let me go look that up real quick. Okay, so I'll put a picture here. It reminds me of this intergalactic bath bomb, and this one is like, my husband gets me these sets every year with all the different bath bombs, and it reminds me of this intergalactic one. Even though the notes in it are mint, cedar, and grapefruit, I feel like for me, the way those mix is just like I really get a burst of the grapefruit and the citrus notes. So to me, that one comes across really citrusy, and maybe the mint just has like a little green sharpness to it that makes it seem even more fizzy with the grapefruit. Yeah, I don't really get a mint dominant or cedar dominant smell from that bath bomb, but those two really remind me of each other, especially after it's been sitting for a while. And I always find those to be really invigorating. Like I feel like that's a good smell or a good description. It feels invigorating, and it feels bright and fruity and juicy and very, if I had to categorize this one, I'd say very bright and playful. I won't say fun and flirty, kind of like how Kaleidoscope is. That one definitely has way more sweetness to it, if that makes sense. Whereas the fizzy lifting drink has like that nice fruitiness, but I don't detect like an overwhelming wave of sweetness that carries it, if that makes sense. But it is still nice and fruity, and is still really yummy. I don't know. I know yummy is like my favorite word, but that's how I feel about it. Okay, the last fragrance I generally have from this order is called Light of the Sky, and this one is inspired by Cream of Clouds. I took a long time to try this one, and I even tried it in a 8 ml, and once I finally tried it, I was like, oh my gosh, why did I put this off? I'm like, it's not that I have a dislike for coconut. I think I was nervous maybe about the burnt sugar element. Like sometimes that can be really yummy, and sometimes it can be really astringent or almost feel like that, where it gives me a headache. So I was nervous about trying that because of the burnt sugar note. So looking at the scent breakdown, when I saw coconut milk in the top, vanilla in the mid, and whipped cream and burnt sugar in the base, that's I guess what put me off for a little bit. But this one is so yummy. It really reminds me, I think, of a little bit more of a dense version of the Suave coconut milk shampoo and conditioner. My cousins used to use that when I was growing up, and I always remember how good it smelled on them. I feel like it really worked with their like hair chemistry, if that makes sense, or like their overall natural smell. I feel like it just smelled so good, and they always smelled like, just like, what do you call those, beach babes? That's just what I thought of them every time like I could smell this on them. But that's what this reminds me of, which is a little more rich with some of that whipped cream. and that burnt sugar in the base. Because the coconut milk and vanilla, I feel like, definitely gives the coconut milk, you know, and the sweet, smooth conditioning element that reminds me of that. And then the burnt sugar and whipped cream just add a little bit more of like some depth and substance to it. Oh, this one is so good. So I was really excited because this one, I put those all away. I forgot to grab those from this order, but I got the fragrance, the satin oil, satin oil, which they used to call the dry oil. And then I also got a cloud whip. I was lucky enough to snag these in the overstock sale. Well, this part and the body cream, but oh, it smells so good. The only thing is it got a little messy in transit, but what can you do? So yeah, that's what that fragrance reminds me of, if that helps give you a picture. It's so good, and it's just so summery, but it could also lean gourmand if you really want to dress it up. It has those elements you could really play on to really intensify it. It's just a really good coconut fragrance that you could use. It's not too intense or leaning one way or the other with any of the notes. Yeah, so that is Light of the Sky. Okay, to wrap up this video, I'll kind of just share like the last few things that I got, which is the first time actually that I'm ordering this, but the mop soap in Garden Gala, delish. Not eating it, not drinking it, not delicious in that way. It just smells delish. And I got the mop soap in Confessions of a Perfume Addict, which is my favorite smell from them. And I was very happy. This was in the overstock sale, I believe. So these were kind of just random onesie-twosies that they put out. And I know actually Garden Gala is in Confessions mixed with Bianco Latte, was it cotton candy and sugared marshmallow or something? I kind of posted that, I think, in my last video. I'm not sure. But yeah, these two are some of my favorites. I feel like they have the perfect element of fruitiness and creaminess. So I was excited to have something to make my room smell like that. And yeah, this is kind of my crazy mishmash of an order. Sorry about that. I also haven't even told you my fragrance of the day, which honestly has just been Oceans Between Us and maybe some type of vanilla from any other brand or their brand, doesn't matter, but just that's what I've been wearing. And I've kind of been reapplying different combos with Oceans Between Us throughout the day, so can't tell you what I have on right now. But oh, last thing, speaking of a mess of a video, I finally got a what's called X-ray oil of Love Letter to Myself. I had ordered this on Mercari months ago. Me and the seller both thought USPS lost it. I think obviously they did for a little bit. I don't know where it was. In the last update was from like March. So it's been a long time. Oh, it smells so good. But it finally said, it was like, oh, this is out for delivery. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I thought it was destroyed. And then they lost it. And then I was like, well, never gonna see that again. So I was very happy to see this one out because I really like this one. This is one of the fragrances I feel like the fruity notes, because I think it's strawberry, cherry, and some other things in there. The strawberry kind of comes on strong and a little astringent in the beginning, but the way it dries down with the vanilla base and the cream base, it smooths out really well. And so I was really happy to get an X-ray oil of that. And yeah, so this is the final part of my video. And thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, I'm sorry I'm so out of sorts right now. Hopefully I will get back to it if my work calms down and I can sort my life out. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope any of this was interesting to you. I also got tea on the lanai satin oil. I don't know how many times I'm going to start the outro and realize I have something else for my order. Let me just do one last scan. Yeah, okay, no, this is the final thing from the order, and I'm so sorry for being so scatterbrained, but yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you can stay tuned and watch some of my next videos. I'll think of something and hopefully, yeah, be better collected. So hope you have a great Sunday or Monday whenever I post this and finally get my life together. And yeah, hope you have a great day, a great night, and stay safe.